So good morning, everybody, and welcome to Mindful Weekend Yoga. For those of you I don't know, it looks like I know most of you. I'm Jessie Mahoney, and I teach these classes most Saturdays to help us nourish, restore, replenish, breathe again. And during the class, do what works for you, modify as you can in your small boxes. It's hard for me to see you. In fact, I can barely see you, or you're not on video. And so therefore your job is to notice what works for you and notice what doesn't work for you and opt out when need be, and notice the mind chatter about when you need to opt out and when you don't, and what that tells you about you. So I am teaching from a different spot today for those of you that know, and I was planning to do a beautiful practice outside in this beautiful spot. And of course it's pouring down rain and stormy. And so that is a lesson in and of itself to be in the moment and enjoy the moment, whatever it might be offering. So I thought today we would focus on enjoying the present and being in the moment. And it's something actually that I have been working on as a human being, because I find that we're always looking behind about what could have been different or should have been different, and looking ahead about what we're planning to do differently. And for many people like me, we often miss the moment. And even when we're in it, we might not enjoy it because we're overthinking it and we're not allowing it in. And so noticing that in that moment, there are lots of clues and gifts, perhaps about what feels good and what doesn't, and maybe what you want and maybe what you don't want, and maybe what's energizing or depleting. And so just to begin to notice, and beyond noticing, actually enjoy. And so as we move through things today, I'm going to throw in a lot of things that I enjoy, and notice as you do them, do you enjoy them, and do they feel good, or do you want to do something else? And the offering is you can always adjust and do a different pose or a different posture if you're mindful and notice what works for you. So with that, find a comfy spot on your mat. If you have a block or a bolster, I highly recommend. So I like to sit at the top of the block for a couple of reasons. One, it helps you ground into the earth beneath. Also, it lifts up your hips above your knees and helps you open up your hip flexors and relax into the pose. And one of the things in life, when we relax in, we're much better able to notice and enjoy. And so even just as you choose your initial spot to sit, can you choose a spot that feels comfortable and be in the moment, be in the present, and enjoy the present and relax into it. So with that, take in a long, deep inhale through your nose and a huge exhale through your mouth. And another long, deep inhale through your nose. And a big exhale through your mouth. Just notice how you feel. Ground those sit bones into the earth beneath you. Tilt your pelvis forward slightly. Grow your spine long and tall. Stack each vertebrae upon the other. And enjoy how it feels as you notice the alignment all the way up through the neck. Stretch the crown of your head long and tall towards the sky, and drop your shoulders. And just notice how you feel here. Once again, take in a long, deep inhale through your nose, smooth, nourishing, filling up every nook and cranny. And exhale, release. Hands rest lightly on your thighs, palms up if you want to be more open, receptive, palms down if you're feeling tired or needing nourishment, whatever feels right to you. And take a moment here to just connect with yourself, to notice, to enjoy the present. Notice the noises around you. Notice the air or the breeze if you can feel it. Take a moment to notice the smells. And draw your attention to your heart space and notice how it feels. Is it tense? Is it tight? Is it relaxed? If you take in a long, deep inhale here, send it right to that heart space. Fill it up, especially the pocket behind. Nourishing it fully, bathing it, and exhale, let it go. And as always, bring a hand to heart. Notice if this feels uncomfortable to you. Many people say it feels uncomfortable when they begin. And just allow it to feel uncomfortable, but also see if you can enjoy it. Enjoy the nourishing skin to skin, hand to heart. Press the heel of your hand into that heart space, connecting to the fact that you have a heart, that you have wants, that you can find joy in each and every moment, even just a smidge. And bring your other hand to top. Press it gently, hand to hand, dorsum to palm. Rub that top hand atop the hand on the heart and just notice how good it feels. Press the heel of your hand into your heart space. Take in a deep inhale once again, long, smooth, in through the nose. And exhale. Bring your hands to heart center, palms together, rub each finger pad together, skin to skin. Rest your thumbs into your sternum, elbows out wide. And take a moment to set an intention for this practice this morning, wherever in the world you may be. And whatever may be going on, what may have popped up right before the practice, what may not be as you expected today. And what if your intention was to enjoy the present anyway, to enjoy the moment, to take good care of you, to nourish you, knowing that that is likely what will help you move forward and be the person that you most want to be. Take in another long, deep inhale. And a huge exhale, letting everything go. Lower your hands to your thighs and let the light in. And once again, notice how you feel. Gaze is a few feet in front. Just slowly let yourself accommodate and adjust. Knowing that often in life, we don't give ourselves the time to accommodate and adjust to changing light, changing situations, or stress that pops up. What if you gave yourself just a moment for a few breaths to adjust, to let the light in, settle, and notice how you feel. Ground your sit bones into the earth or the block or bolster beneath you. Engage that belly. Hands reach skyward. Palms face one another. Inhale, reach those fingertips tall towards the sky. Stretch the side body. Reach tall, tall, tall. And exhale, drop your shoulders. Notice how it feels. Inhale, reach tall, tall, tall. Once again, right thumb and middle finger, grab the left wrist, ground the left hip into the earth and tip gently towards the right. Stretch the whole right side body. Inhale, breathe into it. And exhale, tug that wrist towards the right. Once again, inhale, stretch the side body, the whole length of it. Inhale, nourish every nook and cranny. Enjoy how it feels. And exhale, let it go, stretch a tiny bit further. Inhale, reach both hands back to center. Switch the clasp of your hand. Left thumb and middle finger grab the right wrist. Ground the right hip into the earth. Paying attention to the transitions as a gift to yourself, accommodating. Gently tug the right hand towards the left, right hip grounds into the earth, inhaling, filling up every nook and cranny. And exhale, let it go. One more long, deep inhale, stretch gently, kindly. Enjoy the present and the moment and whatever comes with the stretch. And exhale, let it go. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, both arms out towards the side walls. Engage your scapula, press your hands into the side wall, wrists are flexed. Pinch the scapula together and release. Wrap your hands around your right arm under the left. Wiggle those fingers to the mid scapula. Give yourself a huge hug. Lift your elbows up over your chest if they're in the way and lower them gently atop. Wiggle those fingers once again to the middle of the scapula. Inhale deeply. And exhale, drop your chin into the cradle of your hands. Allow your head and neck to release, and notice the stretch in the whole back body. Round the spine all the way down to your hips. Inhale deeply into the fully spread wings of the back. And enjoy it. And exhale, let it go. One more deep inhale of nourishment and joy. And exhale, let it go. Inhale your head, chin back to neutral. Untangle your arms gently. Stretch them out towards the side walls. Palms press into the side walls. Pinch the scapula again and release. Wrap your arms in the opposite direction. Left arm under right. Wiggle those fingers. Grab the midline of the scapula. Huge hug. Lift up your elbows. Take a moment to make it work over the chest and lower them down. Drop your head and chin into the cradle of your arms. Deep inhale here. And exhale, let it go. One more long, deep inhale. And a huge exhale. Lift your chin up to neutral, crown of the head towards the sky. Unwrap your arms, extend them into the side walls, and gently lower them by your sides. Roll your shoulders 3 times, huge circles, and enjoy it. And roll them forward 3 times, huge circles. And gently take out whatever you might be sitting atop of and come to hands and knees. Hands directly under your shoulders, knees directly under your hips, hips width. Tops of the feet rest lightly on the earth. Take a moment here to get yourself in a good spot, one that feels right. Tabletop, back is flat. You could balance a tray on it. Inhale, reach the crown of your head and your sit bone towards the sky. Stretch the front of your belly. Exhale, round into cat pose. Suck that navel all the way up towards the sky. Enjoy the stretch in the whole back body. Inhale, arch into cow. Crown of the head reaches towards the sky. Sit bones reach towards the sky. Exhale, round. Suck your navel up towards the sky and drop your head and neck. Take a moment to fully enjoy each pose. The cow and the cat. The cat back reaches towards the sky. Exhale, sit bones reach towards the sky. Crown of the head reaches towards the sky. Notice the stretch in the front of the belly and enjoy it. And exhale, drop your head and neck towards the floor. Belly button reaches towards the sky. We'll meet back in neutral here. Walk your hands forward, a handprint, curl your toes, and shoot your hips straight up to downward dog. And pause here and enjoy it. Walk the dog, stretch your heels towards the floor, one at a time. Notice the stretch in the back of the calves, perhaps the spine. Downward dog is a spine lengthener and a spine stretch. Focus on that. Ground your hands into the earth. Shoot your hip bones up towards the sky. Lift up onto your tiptoes. Slowly lower both heels. And just take a moment to enjoy the stretch. Enjoy the present. Enjoy the moment. We often move through yoga as this is my yoga class, and we miss even the moments of yoga. Once again, walk the dog. Press your heels into the earth. Notice all the sensations and enjoy them. Gently walk your hands back towards your feet. Come into an easy forward fold at the back of the mat. Allow your head and neck to release towards the floor. Hands can come to your elbows, and allow your head and neck to release. Fully letting go. Lift up all 10 toes and ground the 4 corners of your feet into the earth. Lower them down like monkey toes. Stretch them out fully as you lower. And let your head and neck release even more. A moment of really surrendering and letting go to whatever is in this moment. And noticing you can do this even in the face of whatever else might be swirling around you, giving yourself this gift of a moment of presence and enjoying it, enjoying what feels good here. Lower your hands towards the floor. Left palm grounds into the earth. Bend your left knee, straight your right, and twist towards the right. Look up towards the right hand and notice the stretch in the right IT band. Right leg is straight. Roll your wrist. Enjoy how good this feels. Switch your hands. Right hand grounds into the earth. Bend your right knee, straight the left, twist towards the left. Look up towards the sky and roll the left wrist in one direction and then the other, and really fully enjoy it. Let it nourish you. Lower your hands towards the earth. Engage your belly and slowly roll up, inch by inch by inch by inch. Head will be the last to rise. And when you arrive, shrug your shoulders up to your ears. Pinch them all the way up to the ears. Draw them towards the back of the mat and drop them towards the floor, palms open towards the front. Tadasana or mountain pose. Take a moment here to enjoy the shifting blood flow. Notice your feet upon the earth, soles grounding into the earth, or resting lightly atop, whatever feels right to you. Lift up your kneecaps, engage your thighs, tuck your pelvis, grow your spine long and tall, one vertebrae upon the other. Once again, drop your shoulders. When you drop, just let things go. Grow your neck towards the sky, crown of the head reaches towards the sky. Taking a huge inhale, palms open towards the front, and a huge exhale, and enjoy it. Open your eyes if they're closed. Bring your hands to heart center, palms together. We're going to come into tree pose, grounding into the earth below, lifting up the toes of your left foot. Ground that left sole of the foot downward. Lower all 5 toes. Use them as monkey toes. Kickstand your right foot. You can, on the inhale, lift up the sole of the foot to the calf or to the inner thigh. I recommend the calf. Gentle, so you can just enjoy it. Bring the right knee back towards your buttock gently, so it's more in line with the side wall. And hands at heart center. And take a moment to just pause here. Notice how you feel in the tree pose. What's wiggling? What's pausing? What's shaking? What can you enjoy about this balance pose? And noticing that you can even have joy when you're struggling to balance. What feels good? What's engaged? Something might even be releasing an endorphin here. If you wish, you can raise your tree branches up towards the sky or towards the rain for those of you in California today. Open your fingers wide, stretch them wide. When we stretch our fingers and our toes, it's very energizing. So use your fingers and your toes, even in your day, whether you're doing yoga or not, to draw in more energy. Opening your palms wide, fingers stretched towards the sky if your branches are up. Huge inhale here into the chest space, filling up your chest with the light and the air and the water. And a huge exhale, enjoying it. Bringing your hands back to heart center. And for a moment here, thinking about trees. Trees just are in the moment, they enjoy it, no drama. What if you approached life a little bit more that way? Draw your knee back towards the front and lower it down, shake it out. Notice with kindness any tension in that left leg. Roll your left ankle in one direction and the other. Shake it out, and we'll ground into the right foot this time. Hands can stay hand to heart. Press the thumbs into your sternum. That's your grounding. Elbows out wide. Lift up all 5 toes on the right foot, lower them down, ground your foot into the earth, kickstand the left foot. Bring the left sole of the foot to the inner thigh. Draw your attention to your left knee, tuck it back, engage your buttock here for a moment. Already a tree. Notice anything to adjust your balance. Do you need to focus on a spot on the floor? Do you need to take a deep breath? What works to help you settle into this moment with more stability? And if you wish, raise those branches up towards the sky and open your fingers. Spread each finger towards the sunlight, towards the rain. Using your fingers and your toes for energy. Breathe into the chest space here. Breathe the light in, the energy, the sun, the rain, the weather, the breeze. Letting it all in through those spread out fingers. Breathe into it. And exhale, fully let it go today. Enjoying the moment. One more deep breath here. Enjoying how strong you are in this pose. How stable you are, despite being on one foot with arms spread wide. Bring your hands back to heart center. Rub the skin to skin, palms together, each finger pad touches. Draw your knee towards the front and slowly lower it to the earth. Kindly and gently rolling out that right ankle, stretching that right calf, perhaps pointing and flexing your toes. Land both feet back on the earth. Lower your hands by your sides. Inhale, reach your arms up towards the sky. Palms come together, slight arch back. Hands come to heart center and pause for just one moment here. Take a moment to tap back into your intention. Perhaps for the next 45 minutes, perhaps for the day, for the weekend, as a mom, as a wife, as a doctor, whatever other roles you have, daughter, whatever roles you have in life, can you tap into those and just set an intention for how perhaps you want to show up with all of them, for all of them? Is it buoyant? Is it clear? Is it calm? Is it with equanimity? Is it enjoying the moment, perhaps enjoying the present? Have you been missing out by worrying? Take a deep inhale and seal in whatever that intention might be. And a huge exhale, let it go. Lower your hands towards your sides. Inhale your arms out and up. Once again, slight arch back. Fold forward, forward fold. Inhale for a half lift. Spine straight, crown of the head reaches forward. Sit bones reach straight towards the back of the mat. Exhale, forward fold once again. Walk your hands forward into a downward dog from here. Widen your feet slightly, ground into both hands, all 10 fingers press into the earth, both palms press into the earth, arms straight, strong, engaged, sit bones reach up towards the sky. Press into your hands, press your hips back and up. Take a moment to enjoy the downward dog. We often use it as a transition, but what if you enjoyed this part of it? Notice the stretch and the good that you feel in each different pocket, little nook and cranny. And if something doesn't feel good, can you send the breath there, readjust, take a moment to make it work for you, whatever that might be. Raise your right leg up towards the sky, gently into a three-legged dog. Press your heel into the back wall and gently bring your foot between your hands. We're going to come into a low lunge here. Take a moment to adjust. Wiggle those right toes as far forward as you need. Back knees on the earth, untuck the back toes. If you need a blanket under your back knee, use that. Engage your belly and slowly rise up. Hands rest lightly on the front knee or the front thigh. Make sure that your right ankle is in front of the right knee and notice the release in the front of the left hip and breathe into it and enjoy it. Hands just rest slightly on the thigh for the moment, slowly moving, enjoying each part of the process. Breathe into the front of the left hip. And exhale, sink into it a tiny bit more and enjoy it. Once again, breathe into the front of that left hip. We carry a lot of tension, worry, stress, anxiety in that hip. Breathe into it gently. And exhale, sink down a little bit more and notice the release. With kindness, let go whatever you might be carrying there. Allowing yourself to enjoy the part that feels good, the letting go that feels good. One more deep breath into the front of that left hip. Exhale, sink a little lower. Gently take your right hand and just wrap it into the left hip crease. Twist gently towards the right. Engage your belly. Left hand rests lightly on the right thigh, looking over the right shoulder. Notice how the stretch shifts here and enjoy it. Breathe into it and exhale, let it go. One more breath here. Notice if things are shaking. Exhale, let it go. Twist back to center. Lower both hands towards the earth here. Curl the back toes and lift up the back heel. Come into a high lunge here. Hands on the earth for a moment. As you readjust, you may want to widen your feet so the lane between your feet is wider. You can use blocks here too if the lunge is hard for you. Do whatever works for you. Or hands just rest gently on the earth. Take a moment still here. You may be wanting to rush to the next position and just notice how things are engaged. Back leg is straight. Right knee is about 90 degrees. Gently walk your hands up to your thighs here and raise both arms up towards the sky. Come into a high lunge. Inhale, reach and stretch both arms towards the sky. Exhale, sink into that front hip. Once again, the left hip. Notice the stretch is different here. Inhale, reach tall. Exhale, lower a little further and enjoy it. Once again, inhale, reach tall, tall, tall towards the sky. Exhale, sink in and enjoy it. Bring your hands to heart center. Once again, notice skin to skin. Thumbs press into the sternum, elbows out wide. We're going to press off the back foot and gently raise it up to hip height in front of us, 90 degrees. You may want to hop the back foot forward a foot or so for better leverage and balance. Take an inhale, shift your weight into the front foot, raise your left knee up to 90 degrees and balance. Inhale and exhale, balancing here. Another inhale and exhale. This time, breathe in, exhale, shift your torso forward, left leg behind you. We're going to come into warrior 3 here. Notice any balance issues as you tip forward. Left foot reaches towards the back of the mat, head comes forward. If you wish, you can bring your hands beside you like Superman or leave them hand to heart. Hand to heart supports balance. Superman pushes you a little bit. Notice what you prefer. One more breath here. Gently bring your knee in front once again to 90 degrees. And slowly lower it down alongside the left. Just notice your feet. Roll them out, roll the ankles in either direction. And gently lower your hands by your sides. Inhale your arms out and up towards the sky. Palms come together, slight arch back. Fold forward, forward fold. Inhale for a half lift. Sit bones reach towards the back of the mat. Crown of the head reaches forward. Exhale, forward fold. Step back into downward dog or forward, depending where you are on your mat and where you may have adjusted. And take a moment once again to enjoy downward dog. Fully let it nourish you. It's actually a rest pose, a different kind of rest. And for those of you that are interested, tomorrow's Mindful Healers podcast is on resting. Lots of good tidbits on why you should rest and why not resting is harmful. So take this moment in downward dog to rest. Notice that when you set yourself up well in downward dog, it can be enjoyable and restful. Fingers fully spread wide, palms flat. Hips reach up and back towards the sky. Press into your hands, lower your head and neck. Bend one foot and then the other foot. Sorry, your knee, sorry. Press your heel towards the earth. Bend your right knee straight, your left. And switch and just enjoy it. Another moment, ground into both hands, arms fully engaged, hips reaching up and back as high as you can. Raise your left leg towards the sky and gently bring it between your hands. Come into low lunge. Asana. Wiggle those left toes as far in front as you can. Back knee on the earth, top of the back foot. Slowly walk up the left leg. Hands rest gently on your thigh. Take a moment to notice your hips. Square them towards the front of the mat. Hands rest slightly. Inhale, stretch the crown of your head and your spine towards the sky, shoulders dropped. Exhale, sink into the front of that right hip and enjoy the stretch. Enjoy the moment here. Why not find joy in the moments that you're experiencing? We often move through all the moments and don't even notice them. Can you use noticing as your superpower for having a more content and peaceful life? Inhale into the front of the right hip once again. And exhale, sink into it and enjoy it. Sometimes too, my mind says that enjoying it is somehow selfish or self-indulgent. But what if it's not? What if actually it's important for us to not miss it? And it's throwing away life's gifts if we miss what feels good and don't even pay attention to it. Taking another deep inhale right into the front of that right hip. And exhale, sink in a little bit further and enjoy it. Another breath here. Gently take your left hand, wrap it into the right hip crease and turn to look over the left shoulder and notice the stretch shifting in the front of the right hip. Breathe into it and pause here. You may have some shakes or wobbles, just enjoy them. Part of the bumpy ride. Inhale deeply. Exhale, look over the left shoulder, stretch a little further into the front of the right hip. Once again, inhale deeply and exhale, sink in. Gently come back to center. Lower your hands to either side of your foot. Curl your toes, raise your back knee, come into a high lunge. And take a moment here to adjust and get it right. Right for you. And right means where you're most balanced, most safe, most strong and stable, which is different for every person. It may be a narrower stance, shorter, wider, whichever works for you is where it should be. Lift up all 5 toes of the front foot, lower them down once again, and gently rise up to stand in the high lunge. Crown of the head reaches towards the sky, arms reach towards the sky. Exhale, sink into your hips. Inhale, lengthen your fingertips towards the sky. Exhale, sink down into the hip flexor on the right side. Use the breath to let things go, to enjoy it. Breathe in and out. One more breath here with arms stretched long towards the sky. Stretch your side body fully. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bring your hands to heart. Pause for a moment. Notice the skin to skin of your hands, of each finger pad. Notice how good it feels. We often think someone else needs to touch us for it to feel good, but notice how amazing your hands just rubbing together feel. Press your thumbs into your sternum. Lift up onto the toes of the back foot. Perhaps hop your foot forward a foot or so. We're going to shift our weight into the front foot. Bring your knee up to 90 degrees and balance here. Notice if any adjustment is needed. Breathe into it, balancing. And out. Once again, breathe in. See if you can wiggle your right toes while your knee is up at 90 degrees. Inhale. Shift your torso forward. Right foot comes back. Come into warrior 3 here. Lower your torso towards hip height. Right foot extends long behind you. Heel pressing into the back wall. Thumbs pressing into your sternum for balance. Elbows out wide, hands pressed together. Breathe into warrior three. If you wish, you can do Superman. Bring your hands to heart center. Once again, deep inhale here. Notice everything engaged, but also notice how good it feels. Even if it's hard, there's a lot about it that feels good. And enjoy the moment here, even with the shaking and the wobbles. Gently raise your right knee up, back to hip height in front. Once again, palms together, thumbs press into the sternum for stability, and lower your foot towards your side, rolling your ankles out. And just notice how it feels. Rolling the ankles in either direction. Lowering your hands, come to Tadasana, and just take a moment to allow all the blood flow shifts. Lift up all 10 toes and lower them down, and perhaps close your eyes. Palms with intention open towards the front. Inhale, reach the crown of your head towards the sky, and exhale, drop your shoulders. Inhale into that pocket behind the heart, filling it with nourishing breath, cushioning it, and exhale, let it go. Take a moment here in Tadasana to notice how good you actually feel in this moment. What feels good? Maybe not everything feels good, but there's something here that feels good. And seal it in, remember it, take it with you. And one last long, deep inhale here, not rushing through the things that do feel good. And exhale, let it go. Slowly open your eyes, wiggle your fingers. Use those fingers to draw in energy once again. And we'll slowly transition to the floor in the center of your mat. If you, we're gonna come to our knees here. I'm gonna do broken toe, which is one of the things that doesn't feel good in the moment and creates a ton of good feelings afterwards. So here you will come onto your knees, standing straight up tall. Soles of the feet on the earth, shins on the earth. Gently curl your toes underneath. Take a moment to use your fingers and untuck each toe so that every toe gets the pleasure of this. And when you're ready, you'll gently shift your weight back so that each toe is being stretched underneath you. And take a moment to adjust if needed. If it becomes too much, you just lift up and off your calves and take the pressure off. But see if you can stay. Even through the discomfort, it's one of those things that hurts and feels amazing and releases so much tension and energy and is energizing. So some things that we do are draining. Notice what's energizing in your life. Notice what feels good, and can you do more of that? Notice if your body wants to get out of this. Take 3 more long, deep, nourishing breaths. Send them into the toes. 1 more. And last one, breathing into the toes, into all the sensations. And let it out. Gently come forward to hands and knees and bang, untuck your toes and bang the tops of your feet. That's fun with the banging, it is kind of fun. And enjoy it. Gently walk your hands back to your knees and allow your buttocks to rest on your calves if you can. If you have knees that don't like that, you can grab a block, put it between your feet and sit atop. You can grab a bolster, or you can just stay upright for a moment. Allow yourself to sit back into what we call hero's pose. It's kind of fun to be a hero. You can take your feet, spread them wider if that works for your knees, or more narrow. Take a moment here to notice what works. And if this is too much for your knees, opt out. Once again, stay upright, or if you have very sensitive knees, just come to sit cross-legged and take a moment for yourself here. So as you sit here, Draw your attention to your heart space and take a moment in hero's pose to remind yourself of why you are a hero. I think for many of us that feels funny, but I've had my coffee the last 2 days in a Wonder Woman cup, which I'm super enjoying. And I think that we don't take time to notice all the things that we do that are wondrous and all the ways in which we show up for the world as heroes. And taking a moment to enjoy, first of all, that role, because it's a hard role, but it also brings much joy. And to enjoy all that we do and all that we share with the world. And give yourself a moment of gratitude, appreciation, and enjoyment for that role. If it works for you, you can bring your hand to heart. Some of you may need your hands on your thighs for stability. A long, deep inhale, just letting that sink in. It might feel quite uncomfortable, and just notice that that's okay. Long, deep exhale. Inhale deeply, and a huge exhale here. Gently rise back up. Take the block out from under you if you have that. And swing your legs around side to stretch them long in front. Rock side to side here. Move the flesh of your seat, as I like to say, out from underneath you. Legs are stretched long. You may need a little bend in the knees if that feels good. Flex your ankles, flex your toes. Ground your sit bones into the earth. Tilt your pelvic bowl forward here and grow your spine long and tall. Drop your shoulders. Crown of the head reaches tall. Your belly's fully engaged here. Take a moment in this position where you're using your core for strength to stretch each toe out wide. Just like we did with our fingers in tree pose. Stretch the toes. See if you can create space between all 10 toes. It's quite energizing. And then relax. Once again, stretch all 10 toes in either direction. Take a moment to notice how good that feels. A simple stretch that you could do anywhere, anytime. And let it go. Inhale and raise both arms up towards the sky. Stretch both side bodies. Reach tall, tall, tall. Exhale, fold forward over your toes. Relax your head and neck. Press your knees towards the earth. And let things go in an easy forward fold. Notice the release in the back of the legs. Breathe into the back body here. And exhale, let it go. One more huge inhale. If you wish, you can straighten your knees, extend them towards the floor. Enjoy all the sensations here. Noticing what feels good. Exhale, let it go. Walk your hands back up your shins to your knees, to your thighs. Ground those sit bones down once again with intention, moving purposefully. Knees can have a loose bend. Hands come behind you. Tense them towards the earth. Straighten your arms. Drop your shoulders down and back. Press your knees towards the floor. Dandasana or staff pose. Another pose of strength here. You can engage your legs such that your heels pop up off the earth. Breathe into the chest space in the pocket behind your heart. Fill it up. You may create a nourishing, buoyant cushion for your heart. Exhale, let it go. Once again, breathe into that pocket. Getting things unstuck, making room for diastole and letting it go. Let your legs go. Notice how much shaking you may have had there. Release your toes. And just enjoy for a moment how you feel here. You can release your hands. Press them gently on your thighs with your legs engaged. You might notice your belly. If it's still engaged, is it letting you know? Gently raise your arms to shoulder height, parallel with your legs, and engage your belly, rolling back vertebrae by vertebrae until you land upon the floor. And allow yourself to land and rest. Notice how good it feels. Toes relaxed towards the front outer corners of the mat. Notice the earth holds you. Notice what of your body is connecting to the earth below. Your heels, perhaps the backs of your legs, likely your sacrum, likely the backs of your arms, the occiput. Just allow yourself to enjoy it for a moment. Deep, huge inhale here. And exhale. Engage your feet. Bring them so your toes face the sky. Bend your right knee and hug it in towards your chest. Use both hands on the front of the shin. Inhale, tug the knee closer towards your chest. Knee is bent fully and hold it. Exhale, let it sink laterally into the socket. Inhale, hug it in tight again, releasing lots of muscles here. And exhale, let it go. Gently release your right hand towards the earth. Left hand stays on the right shin. We're going to twist towards the left here. So gently use your left hand to pull your right leg over towards the left. Use your right hand for stability. And just notice what feels good in this twist for you. Does a full twist feel good? Does a part twist feel good? Take your right arm and stretch it out sideways towards a T, or if it works for you, use a cactus pose. Notice what feels better to you. And notice how far into the twist feels good. For me, one side is totally different than the other. One wants to twist fully, one wants to twist half. Just allow whatever it is for you. Breathe into the twist here. Twist should be spine lengtheners also, so notice the length in your spine. And use that left hand to guide your knee where it feels most comfortable. Don't overdo it. Breathe into the twist here. It's partly a rest pose and partly a lot of muscles are engaged. You may notice shaking. One more long, deep breath here. Allow yourself to enjoy it. Gently untwist, bringing both hands to the front shin once again. Notice the back of your sacrum and your back. Did it land evenly? Perhaps use your left foot to adjust so you're even once again. Both hips lie on the floor. Take your hands, grab the back of your thigh, stretch your right leg long towards the sky. Flex your toes towards your nose. Point your toes towards the sky. Flex your toes towards your nose. And here, press the hamstring into both hands. Engage fully. Toes stretch wide and flex towards your nose. Everything engaged. You should notice a lot of shaking here. Point your toes towards the sky. More shaking. Once again, flex your toes towards your nose. Stretch your toes wide. Press the hamstrings into your hands. Point your toes. Notice the stretch in the front of the thigh, or front of the shin here. Also enjoy it. And relax. Bend your knee. Hands come to the shin once again. Press your knee in towards you. Hug it fully. Huge inhale. And exhale, let it sink laterally into the hip bone once again. Release your hand, extend the right leg long alongside the left. Release your hands towards your side body, palms open, and take a moment to just notice the huge difference between the sides. Notice how it feels. Huge inhale here. Enjoy the discrepancy and the asymmetry. Exhale, let it go. Hug the left knee in towards your chest. Hands on your shin. Huge inhale here. Hug it tight, tight, tight. Exhale, release it laterally into the hip socket. Enjoy it. Inhale, hug it tight. Exhale, let it sink in. Notice what's happened to your right toes and draw your attention, direct them towards the sky. Once again, deep inhale here. And an exhale, let it sink in laterally.
release the left hand, cactus shape or T, whatever works for you and the floor and the space that you're in. Right hand is on the left shin. Gently twist towards the right. You may want to tuck that right hip underneath you. You move your hand to the knee, just gently rest to the thigh. Notice what works for you, what works for your arms, for your shoulders, for your back. You may want to come into a full twist, a half twist. Notice what feels most delicious and nourishing. It's not supposed to be perfectly comfortable, but it should feel good. What's expansive for you rather than draining? Maybe try both left arm positions and see what feels good. Breathe in here into all the nooks and crannies that are open here, and a huge exhale. Another huge inhale here. And an exhale, enjoy. Last long, deep breath here. Notice if you want to move anything, stretch a little further, perhaps extend the left leg, or maybe you want to come out of it to enjoy it for this last deep breath. When you're ready, twist back to center. Readjust your hips so they're even. Adjust your shoulders if need be. Draw your knee into your chest here. Once again, huge hug, hug it tight. Exhale, let it sink laterally into the hip socket. Enjoy that. Bring your hands to your hamstrings. Extend the left leg long towards the sky. Flex your toes towards your nose. Spread your toes wide, wide, wide. Use them as energizers. Point your toes towards the sky. Enjoy this stretch in the front of the shin. Exhale, flex your toes towards your nose. Engage your hamstring. Press it into your hands. Fully engaged. Notice the right toes. Press them towards the sky. Reach them towards the sky. Point your toes. Notice things shaking. Flex your toes once again. Heel presses towards the sky. Hamstring presses into your hands. Point your toes and relax. Bend your knee. Replace your hands on your shin. Hug it in tight. Huge nourishing hug. Exhale, let it sink into the hip socket. And then slowly release. Let it rest alongside the right. Palms open towards the sky. Take a moment here to enjoy. Things likely feel quite different. Bend your knees, walk your heels towards your buttocks, flip your palms over. Press into your feet, press into your palms, press into your forearms, reach your sit bones up towards the sky. Come into an easy bridge. Tuck your shoulders underneath you. Take your hands, grab the outer edges of your mat and tug it towards your heels. Reach your hips high, high, high. Full inhale here. Everything engaged, stretching the back body here. And exhale, energetically connect your knees, reach those hips high towards the sky. Exhale, untuck your shoulders, lower down. Draw your knees into your chest, give them a hug. Rock side to side, massage your sacrum, and enjoy it. Bring your hands to the outer edges of your feet, come into happy baby. Soles of the feet towards the sky. Press your knees towards the earth, opening up your inner thighs, your groin. 4-month-olds do this for fun all the time. What if we had a little more fun? Even as you're going to bed, could you try this? Could you bring a little more joy into small moments of your day? Notice how good it feels. Massage the sacrum. Bring the soles of your feet together. Press your heels into your groin. Stretch the inner thigh. Move your arms away from your chest if they're in the way. Deep breath into the groin area. And an exhale. Release your hands. Lower your feet toward the earth, coming into Supta Baddha Konasana or reclining butterfly, a nourishing, restorative, healing pose. Readjust things if they need to be. If you wish, and this is too much of an inner thigh stretch, you can put blocks under your knees or bolsters under your knees. Bring your left hand to heart, right hand to belly. And pause here for a moment, just to enjoy all you feel, the work you've done, acknowledging that sometimes it feels more like stretching than work, and yet we grow and get stronger. Even in that, it doesn't have to be hard to be work. It doesn't have to be hard to make things better and to bring joy. So allow yourself to take a moment here to enjoy. Notice your hands to heart. Does it feel uncomfortable? Does it feel comfortable? Just noticing and allowing some peace and joy and presence in the moment. When you're ready, you can transition into Shavasana, final resting pose. Some of you may wish to stay here for Shavasana, and that's fine. If you wish to transition, hands come to the outer thighs. Draw your knees together gently and with care. Extend your legs long in front of you. Allow your toes to fall towards the outer edges of the mat, and hands come to rest by your sides, 6 inches away from your waist, palms open. Untuck your shoulders if they're caught. Notice if anything doesn't feel good, taking a moment to arrive. A few moments here of complete rest, complete letting go. Not, as we talk about in the podcast tomorrow, not fake rest, but real, full, nourishing, restorative, healing rest. A chance to just be, nothing to do. Let your body breathe for itself. Notice your chest rise and fall. Draw your attention to your hands open towards the sky. Letting the light land on them, allowing it in through your body, through your hands. And just enjoy it. Gently begin to deepen your breath. Slowly start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Enjoy the transition here. Enjoy how good it feels to start bringing your consciousness back into your body and to start wiggling things.
Take in a huge inhale. Stretch your arms long above you and your toes long in front of you. Inhale and stretch, fully filling every nook and cranny with the breath. And exhale, let it go. Slowly and with care, and so it feels good, roll over to one side. Pause in a fetal position, using your arms as a nourishing pillow. And take a moment there, a moment to enjoy the present, a moment to notice what feels good now, to notice perhaps how calm feels, how nourishing the breath feels. And then it's possible to pause and be present and enjoy the little pockets here and there, and that makes you feel so much better. Press your hands into the earth and slowly come up to a comfortable seat where we began. Sit atop a blanket or a bolster if you wish, if that's nourishing for you. Use a blanket if it's nourishing for you. Move with kindness. When you arrive, ground your sit bones into the earth once again. Tilt your pelvic bowl forward, grow your spine long and tall. Drop your shoulders, lengthen your neck, reach the crown of your head towards the sky. And take in a long, deep inhale. And a huge exhale. Take a moment here to enjoy how you feel. Enjoy the present. Notice what feels good. Bring a hand to heart and place another hand atop. And take a moment to enjoy that. Knowing that hand to heart is always available. Long, deep inhales are always available. Taking another long, deep inhale here. And an exhale, letting it go. Bring your hands to heart center. Notice and enjoy the skin to skin, finger pad to finger pad. Thumbs press into the sternum. Noticing how safe and secure you can feel just with this small movement. Hips ground into the earth, thumbs ground into the sternum, elbows out wide. Take a long, deep inhale once again. And a huge exhale to enjoy. Thank you all for taking this time for you, to nourish you, and to enjoy being you. And thank you all for choosing to join me here on this Saturday morning for practice. The light in me honors and reflects the light and beauty in each and every one of you. Have a beautiful week ahead. And I will see you next Saturday if you choose to join. Namaste.